What's up, soul family, everyone out there in the world? This is Nihility Intensity Tarot, and this is going to be a general reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mars for the second half of the Sun transitioning the sign of Scorpio. Now, before I get started with the reading, I hope all of your Aries have had a good first half of Scorpio season, transitioning into the second half. So, with that being said, let's talk about what the Sun represents, what it represents being in Scorpio. So the Sun is, of course, our actions, our viewpoints, how we see the world around us, as well as correlates to our wants, and it's going to be in the energies of Scorpio, which is fixed water, being fixated on its own ways of feeling the emotions. And Scorpio itself was born as the 8th house of behind closed doors energies, secrets, occult, mysticism, and anything in the dark. Now, keep in mind that the dark doesn't mean electrical lights being on and off. In the case of darkness, when it comes to that, the lights being off, but it means anything that you're not consciously aware of, anything that is unknown to you, similar to mysticism. So, with that being said, that is what our actions, viewpoints, and how we're going to see the world, as well as our wants, is going to be correlated in during this time. So, with that being said, Aries, you are cardinal fire, initiating and creating new ways of seeing and feeling the emotions. And Aries itself was born out of the first house of personal interest, personal affairs, personal insecurities, personal people, places, and things in your life, as well as your first appearance to others. So, with that being said, Aries, you in conjunct Scorpio, so Aries Sun, you're going to misunderstand how to be fixated in your own emotions, but initiating those new emotions that you see and feel. Do your best to not be too extroverted, because remember, Scorpio is an introverted sign, so be a little bit introverted during this time to balance your energies out. And that's where the misunderstanding is going to come from. In Aries Moon, you're going to be attracting people that are misunderstanding how to initiate new ways of seeing and feeling the emotions about their own fixated. Okay, so like I said, the moon is going to be, in the Aries moon, you're going to be attracting these people. You're going to attract people that are going to misunderstand how to initiate new ways of seeing and feeling emotions to you about their own fixated energies or fixated emotions. So, with that being said, let's shuffle the Universal Catcher Tarot deck a few more times, and then we'll move on to the Vital Rate deck for clarifications, and then we'll move on to the Moonology Oracle deck. Let's see what Mother Moon has to say to you through me to end the reading off. So, with that being said, we'll shuffle this one more time and we'll get started. Okay, so the overall energies of the reading is the Queen of Swords. So this is you standing in your truth, being self-aware, and giving sound advice to those who you feel needing said sound advice. Preferably when people come to you. Also, this is a warning to not speak advice in the sword sake of, like the Queen of Swords, to hurt anybody's feelings, but speak your sound advice and speak your truth when it is necessary to do so. Now, your first card for the Universal Catcher Tarot deck that you get is the Tower card, which is Scorpio energy. So you begin with the Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Scorpio in your chart, and if so, these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transitioning the sign of Scorpio. But overall, there is a Tower moment for you. Something that's no longer serving you, or something that needs to fall, is falling down for you, whether that be positive or negative. Or whatever the case, do be aware and understand that after the Tower card comes the Star card. So that is optimistic healing. So focus on healing after this Tower if it is something positive that came crashing down. If it's something negative, then just be happy that it did, so that you can move on to bringing prosperity into your life without that blockages. Now, the second card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy. So you could be dealing with the Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mercury, or have Gemini in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Scorpio. But overall, with the Lovers being here, this is you either dealing with the soul flame or soulmate or twin flame, soulmate or twin flame. Mind you, and keep in mind that not everybody's dealing with a soulmate or twin flame, as well as this card also talks about listening to your higher self during this time. So, what is the case may be, we'll clarify that when we get to it. Now, your third card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Judgment card, which is Scorpio energy. So you could be dealing with a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have Scorpio in your chart once again. And if so, these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Scorpio. But overall, you're giving rebirth to an idea that you once had in the past and implemented it into the present, moving into the future during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Scorpio. Now, your fourth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Two of Wands, which is talking about planning, talking about looking at the bigger picture of life and planning accordingly to that, because this Two of Wands in the Waite deck pictures a man holding the globe or the ward in his hand. The man represents the thoughts, and the ward in his hand represents looking at the bigger picture of your life as a whole. So, excuse the noises outside if you hear that. But with that being said, Two of Wands is talking about you planning for the future. So, moving on to the fifth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Page of Cups, which the Page of Cups is talking about being a little bit introverted in your emotions due to unstable emotions, or in this case in the image, choppy waters. So, with that being said, don't let these unstable emotions get to you. Do your best to create higher perspectives and positive thoughts and feelings, and understand that these feelings are not you. You as a spirit only creating and agreeing with thoughts and feelings, so create higher perspectives, like I said, and create positive thoughts and feelings to combat these negative emotions. Alright, so you can open yourself up in a brighter way during this time. Now, your sixth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. So you could be dealing with the Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or have Taurus in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Scorpio. But overall, you are putting commitment towards something that you want and desire to do, or something in your life, and you're very committed to this said person, place, or thing. So there is a commitment in your life. Now, your seventh card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Six of Pentacles, which is talking about equal give and take. Alright, so there is a sense of equal give and take here during the second half of the Sun transition sign of Scorpio. And with that being said, whatever energy you're putting out, you will receive equal amounts of it back. So be careful what energy you put out, because you will receive that same energy right back to you during this time. Now, your eighth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot deck that you get is the Five of Wands, which is talking about minor conflict. So you could be dealing with some minor conflicts, some minor issues, but keep in mind that they are just that, minor. As you can see here, the man is training the dragon to breathe fire, so that means that you have the ability to solve this, and it's not that heavy or burdensome like the Three of Swords or the Ten of Swords or the Ten of Wands. It's the Five of Wands, which is minor conflict. So, with that being said, do your best to look at the situation as a whole and choose and decide what's best for you and how to solve this minor conflict moving forward. Now, your last but not least, and ninth card from the Universal Celtic Tarot that you get is the Nine of Pentacles. So this is talking about sufficiency and independence in the material world for yourself. You are being very independent during this time and very sufficient, which is really good to see. So, being, like I said, independent during this time. Now, let's move on to the Waite deck for clarifications. Starting off with the overall being the Queen of Swords. So let's clarify the Queen of Swords in the overall position. So the Queen of Swords is clarified by the Four of Wands. So you're in a happy home, you are in a happy place, and this is having you be more self-aware, or helping you be self-aware and focus on how yourself is and what truth stands for you, because you are in this happy home, as well as giving sound advice to those that you feel deemed worthy of giving your sound advice to, or those who ask for it. So let's move on to the Tower card, which the Tower card is clarified by the Justice card, which is Libra energy. So you could be dealing with the Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or have Libra in your chart, and if so, these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Scorpio. But overall, you are doing your best to find a sense of balance, and you may be going through a tower moment in order to achieve this sense of balance, resolution, and harmony in your life. With the Justice card clarifying, apologize about the dogs, but with the Justice card clarifying the Tower, like I said, to bring balance, resolution, and harmony into your life, you very well may be going through a tower moment in order to do so. So just keep that in mind. Just don't get scared. Just know that it's for the sake of balance for yourself. Now with the Lovers card is clarified by the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands is talking about either burdens or responsibilities that feel like burdens. And since it's clarifying the Lovers card, I feel like the Lovers is talking about your higher self and you carrying out responsibilities that may feel like burdens, but if you continue to carry these out and do what's best for yourself and the betterment of well-being, then you will end up carrying these sticks, symbolically speaking, to the castle, aka in the third dimension, get your reward or get what you deserve by putting in the work that you put in during this time. So with that being said, with the Judgment card is clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So the Nine of Pentacles is talking about being independent, sufficient in the material world. Alright, so with that being said, you have everything that you need in the material world, but you may not have everything that you want in the material world. But what you do have is sufficient, and you are able to be independent with with what you have in the present moment. But with the Nine of Pentacles clarifying the Judgment card, by you being in this independent energy, it's helping you rebirth this idea that you once had in the past and implement it into the present moment, moving into the future. So that being said, let's move on to the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Cups. Excuse me. Okay, I do apologize about those little cuts. But in any case, with the Two of Wands is clarified by the Ten of Cups, which is talking about having everything that you want and need in the emotional world. So, and for happiness in the emotional world. So this is what you're planning on, is how to bring this into your life. I feel like, since it's clarifying the Two of Wands, what are you planning on? How to bring happiness and bliss into your life. So, or how to gravitate more of it into your life, since I feel like you're already in a good spot. So for the moment, especially with this Four of Wands coming up, with the clarifying the overall being the Queen of Swords. So with that being said, move on to the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups is clarified by the Lovers card, which is Gemini energy. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mercury, or have Gemini in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Scorpio. Or when it comes to either a soulmate or twin flame, or you listen to your higher self, you are being a little bit introverted during this time when it comes to whatever this case is for you dealing with this Lover's energy. So if it's dealing with a twin flame or a soulmate, you may be hesitant to open up to them, but like I said, with the First Lover's card, I feel like this is your higher self, and you're having a little difficult time opening yourself up fully and following what your higher self is calling you to do. So with that being said, do your best to create higher perspectives and create and agree with positive thoughts and feelings during this time to open yourself up fully and commence doing what your higher self is calling you to do, or interacting with the soulmate or twin flame. So with that being said, moving on to the Hierophant, which the Hierophant is clarified by the Wheel of Fortune, which is Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio energy. So you could be dealing with the Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Saturn, a Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Mars, or have one of these energies in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Scorpio. And with that being said, with the Wheel of Fortune clarifying the Hierophant, you are warned with the changes in your life when it comes to this said commitment. So whatever your commitment to, you're warning with the changes in the cycles of what that commitment brings to you, whether that be challenges, obstacles, or even prosperity. So, with that being said, that's for the Wheel of Fortune clarifying the Hierophant. Moving on to the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Empress card, which is Taurus energy. So you could be dealing with the Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or you could be on the cusp with Taurus, which is the Aries Taurus cusp, or have Taurus somewhere else in your chart, and so these energies will be amplified for you during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Scorpio. But overall, you are realizing your value and what you have to offer to the world, and know that you are valued with the clarifying the Six of Pentacles. So whatever you're putting out there into the world, you are giving equal give and take back. So just keep that in mind and keep doing what you're doing during this present moment. Also, one more thing, the Empress card herself represents fertile energy. So if you're not trying to have children during this time, just a forewarning, just in case, do your best to use protection, or you do the necessary acts to not be in that position, aka being pregnant or getting somebody else pregnant during this time. Now, moving on to the Five of Wands, which the Five of Wands is clarified by the Six of Wands, which is you being in victory. So, well, this is victorious card, so you may have a little bit minor conflict when it comes to feeling victorious. Alright, feel victorious about what it is that you got going on in your life in the present moment, and do your best to solve this minor conflict by either listening to intuition or choosing what's best for the betterment of your well-being, your highest good, moving forward during this time. Now, with the Nine of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles is clarified by the Ten of Swords, which the Ten of Swords is talking about you ending something indefinitely, but from this ending indefinitely, you are stepping into a place of being independent and sufficient in the material world in the present moment during the second half of the Sun transition in the sign of Scorpio. Keep in mind that whatever came to an end completely was not meant, do your best to know and be aware that that wasn't meant to be in your life. So don't be too hard about yourself when it comes to this ending, or too down and dwelling about this ending as well. So, and with that being said, let's move on to the Moonology Oracle deck. Let's see what Mother Moon has to say to you through me to end the reading off. Okay, so your first card from Mother Moon to you through me is Full Moon in Sagittarius. So look at the bigger picture. So like I said with the Two of Wands, and looking at the bigger picture is a good advice for you, and especially with the Moonology Oracle deck pulling out the Full Moon in Sagittarius. Look at the bigger picture card. So when you're planning for your life and how you're going to proceed forward, look at the bigger picture of your life as a whole, and do your best to look at the perspective of not being in desire for yourself, and so that you can choose what's best for the betterment of your well-being and your highest good moving forward. Now your second card from Mother Moon. The second card from Moonology Oracle deck from Mother Moon to you through me is New Moon in Libra. A new romantic cycle is beginning. So a new romantic cycle is beginning for you. So like I said, this Lovers card could be talking about a twin flame or soulmate, but there is a new relationship or new romantic cycle starting for you, or even just with your own self. So So just keep that in mind. But that is what's going on during the second half of the sun transition in the sign of Scorpio. So a new romantic cycle is beginning for you. Now your last card, but definitely not least, from Mother Moon to you through me, is Fourth Quarter Moon. Your commitment is being tested. So your commitment is being tested during this time. So whatever you're committed to and whatever you're working on, be aware that your commitment is being tested either by yourself, the universe, or other people that are interacting or participating in your work, or watching or looking at your work as a whole. So know that your commitment is being tested during this time with the sun transition second half of Scorpio. And with that being said, Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Mars, that'll be our 4 yards general reading. I hope this helped. I hope this brought clarity or aided you in any way. Shout out to the whole Soul family. Shout out to Dollar the Pilot Man. Y'all be blessed. Remember that you'll never be less. Y'all take care and peace.